gonna stay.
Baby, it's cold outside.
I've got to go.
Just watched that
Baby, it's cold outside.
movie with the kids, Elf, in the bathroom scene. It was hilarious. Welcome back to the Stockwell Eldridge Show. I'm Jason Stockwell, Remax Results.
Diane Eldridge with Remax Results.
Diane was just singing that song in her head. She loves that song, I can tell, right?
I do. Really do.
Oh, and Diane and I were at an event at the Edina Country Club where we were singing that. Yeah, and I was attempting to sing, and Diane was singing. It was great.
Yeah, my husband said, I'm glad your voice outdrowns mine.
It was a sing-along, my first ever sing-along, which I thought was caroling. I didn't know. I was confused, but you go there and you sit and you sing along.
Wow.
It's great. And then you have a dinner afterwards, and it was
surprise.
Fun. Yeah, it was great. So welcome back, folks. We're talking today with Credit Life and Credit Repair with Chris and Jeremy, and then Don Doty with Home Place Inspections, and Steve Furlong with Mortgages Unlimited. So we have a great group of experts in here, so I want to do a little quiz, see how talented and knowledgeable our experts are. And then later on in the segment, we're going to be talking about a couple things you could do if you or someone you know, a loved one, a family member, spouse, child, has any or may have a potential issue with credit, or you think they may, and there might be a couple things that you could do that are probably simple or you may not know about. Besides one easy step would be reaching out to Chris or to Jeremy for a consultation, but also maybe some other things that maybe you don't know about in the way the credit industry works, because the credit industry, I remember when you guys spoke at the seminar or the session that we had, you pay them in the front and the back, right? Are you kind of, so we'll talk about that too. It's kind of interesting how they kind of control everything, and that's interesting. But here's the quiz. See our expert panelists will do here. What are the benefits, and that you guys can do up to, let's say up to 5 benefits of selling your home or putting your home on the market right now, potentially here in December? What would be some possible benefits of that?
Number one, I would say that, just because of the season, there's not as many homes on the market. Less people are listing.
Less competition. Okay, I like it. Anybody else?
Go ahead. I was say
buyers that are talking about buying in spring are looking for homes right now so that they can close in the spring. And the spring in Minnesota is our best time in the market.
That's right.
He stole mine. He stole my.
Now we're really actually.
Really?
He stole my. You tell me. Stole my answer.
I was gonna say that.
That's what I was gonna say. As had been mentioned earlier, in kind of the market update, a lot of cash investors are looking right now for their winter project. They're looking for their flip. They're looking for their whatever word we want to use for it.
Potentially a quick sale that's easy, maybe
something they can
like
turn around.
If your property maybe fits that mold.
Prices could be just a little bit less than in the spring market.
Good point.
Move somewhere warm.
Yes.
You could move somewhere warm. Ooh, I like that one, Don.
I think we have the winner.
The brown spots in your yard are hidden.
They are. They are hidden. My entire dog is hidden, I think, right now. With the snow. The house looks good with the Christmas lights. It looks very pretty and very welcoming. You go walking through and you see someone's Christmas tree or Festivus pole.
They feel more cozy on the inside.
Yes.
Yes, you're right. And it's festive, and the inside of the home show really well. And then the other thing is, if someone's out looking, for example, I'm showing a buyer houses tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. And if you're out looking at houses right now, you are motivated to buy.
You're serious.
She will be buying a home very soon because she needs a home. She's staying essentially at a hotel or at a friend's place for now. And so if you have your house on the market, you may not get as many showings, but the ones you get are probably pretty serious. Because I don't know, there's not many people that say, oh, you know what, it's 10 below. Let's go outside, stand in front of a door, wait for this realtor to open up the door, and then parade through this home. And then, and you don't have to looky-loose. There's no looky-loose.
Tire kickers and nosy neighbors? Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. You minimize those. So let's see. Dave Ramsey, who's also on the sister station here, has an article on his website, and here's what he says. Top ones: competition dries up, less competition. We covered that. So you can be set apart from others, and for those people that really are motivated to buy and need a place, you're going to be one of the options. Next one: buyer means business. They're there for a reason. They're buying now. They're not looking like we talked about, just kicking tires. And this one says, your halls are already decked. Nothing says welcome home quite like walking in from the super cold weather outside. A warm house that's dressed up for the holidays looks really good, especially if you're hosting or have stuff going on in there. So it looks great. So you have a really good positive inside showing. So yeah, so that we covered those. So if you are thinking of selling, or you do need to, or know someone who needs to or wants to sell their home, and you want to get a jump on it, we would encourage you to call us, number one, 651-400-0773, 651-400-0773, or go to our Facebook page. You can write comments on there, which is Stockwell Eldritch Show. If you want to look at other episodes and more information, go to our YouTube, and you can check that out as well. And we're always happy to help, give you an assessment now. We have quite a few people that we've looked and met with now at their homes to give an assessment of whether they should go on now, or if they want to go on in January or February. But I would encourage you to beat the rush. Time is flying by, folks. I don't know about you guys, but it just seems like we are already through 2016, going into 2017. January, homes are going to start coming on the market. People are going to be having their New Year's resolution. They're going to want to be buying. Rates are going to be going up. The economy is still going to be great. And February and then March is the parade of homes already, and spring break. And it's just crazy how fast life is going. So if you want to do it, and we're kind of in a year-long cycle with homes now as time is. So this is my 13th year in real estate. And as time goes on, it seems like every winter gets more and more like the fall as far as the buyers and the sellers and the activity. The activity level kind of, there's not as many peaks and valleys, it seems like, in the cycle of real estate anymore.
Can't take December and January off like the good old days.
Well, apparently that's what everybody used to do, right? You have the 2-3 months off.
Absolutely. That's when you take the cruise, or when you go somewhere that isn't, buried up to your ankles in snow or up to your hips in snow. Yep.
I think we aced Ramsey's quiz there. I think we did a pretty
Totally
good job.
did. You're
Congratulations.
We are. I'll go out on a limb and say we're better than he is.
There is one. Easy.
I know Dave. I don't know Dave personally, but I imagine those would be fighting words with Dave. He's probably pretty competitive.
There is something to add to that, though, too. In mortgage, I see the really professional realtors in the spring market in the summer. They get so busy. If you think about the selling experience, if you want hands-on, full-service attention, right now, this time of year is the time to get that.
Oh, yeah.
Because the best agents out there will have time to cover all the little details with you.
Yeah, it's a very good point, Steve. You won't be inundated with 15 other sellers. You'll be one of a handful, and you'll be getting all the extra. Yeah, that's a wonderful
shows
point.
just why we're better.
Exactly. Don, I think you had a question for the boys, for Jeremy and Chris.
So, when it comes to credit scores, give me the high and the lows, and what's good and what's the worst.
Okay, I'll take that one, I guess.
Sure.
Okay. Well, the ranges by the bureaus are typically 350 to 850.
350.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 350 or 300. Depends on which bureau you're talking
so
about.
we can kick it up a
but-
level. There's something called FICO 8.0 now.
Right.
That's doing 300 to 900.
Right.
Oh.
Yep. So, for mortgage lending, ideally, if you're looking for an FHA mortgage, typically the minimum is 640. There are some variations in there, and talk to your loan officer about that.
Quick disclaimer I got to give you. Dave Ramsey doesn't believe in credit agencies. He hates it. He likes cash only, so I don't want to, I've been through Financial Peace University. We know how Dave Ramsey feels about it. The credit bureaus, real quick briefing on that while you're talking about the scores and the range of scores. How does it work? I mean, overall, the purpose of it is it, how does anybody know how this originated and all that? I'm just curious because
Yeah. It was FICO.
Is it a scam? I know. Scam.
Well, yeah, that's
There's no definitive answer.
Depends on your definition of is.
FICO came. Thank you. FICO came around because it's Fair Isaac Company. If everybody's heard of Fair Isaac Company, that's the abbreviation for FICO. They were the first company to create the scoring model. And all of the industry wanted a way to evaluate risk for consumers, and that's basically why it came around.
Okay.
So
that makes sense. Yeah,
Yep.
It is a risk. Yeah, banks look at it as how risky are you? Here's what you get.
Correct.
Fun part about how it works, if you want to report to a credit bureau, you have to pay the credit bureau to report. So if you're a collection agency, you're a bank, you're a lender, you're a car, a car finance company.
So if I'm a car company and someone's not paying me, I say, hey, you know what, this guy or gal isn't paying me. I'm with Bill Smith Car Auto Place. I'm going to report it to the bureau.
Correct, and the bureaus will charge you then as that lender for the luxury of getting to report. Now, if you're trying to make a credit decision about somebody, should I lend to this person? You go to the bureaus and you pay them money for oftentimes the same information you just provided to them. So, as much as I'd love to have come up with that, sadly I didn't.
And then they sell information too, like
Correct.
Experian. You can buy marketing lists and things.
Correct.
So, yeah.
And at the end of the day, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, you're looking at the world's largest depository of unverified, unvalidated information. Right. So sadly, it's not stacked in the favor of the consumer, and that's why there are so many consumer protection laws out there. That's why there are people like us who can help guide people through the process.
And I imagine, I see a lot of these commercials on TV where you're supposed to check your credit every so often, but and stuff happens where people get stuff wrongly reported. Even someone, let's say, has 800 or 750 credit score, and then all of a sudden, right, they're going along their daily lives and they're paying everything, right? And
correct. And as I said, it's unverified, unvalidated. The information that's provided to these bureaus, they're not providing evidence. They're not verifying, validating, or documenting that any of this is accurate, factual, correct, current, or verifiable at all. So that becomes what is able to be investigated and worked on to work on credit improvement.
Okay, so it's a negative, but it also is a positive because it's not verified, but it means that you can also work with it a little bit to help get it cleared up.
Yes.
Okay. Hopefully you guys learned something from that. I did. We'll be back with more. You're listening to the Stockwell Eldritch Show. Happy holidays. Stay tuned, folks.